Oh, Winston wants to be in the video. Since 2015, well 2014, when we were planning our first trip to Iceland to drive the ring road, I've been dying to do this area, Laugavegur. Anything in the highlands north of Skogafoss, and well, check out other video for more information on that. But the Laugavegur trail, I found quite a bit of info on the trail itself, mileage. I couldn't find a lot about what people are actually bringing, and you kind of got to prepare for a lot in Iceland. So this is mostly going to be useful to me to go over what's in my bag, but I hope someone else finds it useful too. First up, the bag. Super important. With a weight of about just over 2 pounds, the Hyperlight Mountain Gear North Rim is my bag of choice for this trip. I did have the Porter for a few years and loved it enough to upgrade. Kim has the Hyperlight Mountain Gear Southwest in black, which is the knot mesh pockets. And I got jealous of her having pockets and always being able to just shove jackets and snacks and everything and water on the sides. I had to carry mine with a different system. But I sized up to the 3,400 liters so I could hold more than a couple days food inside. I really love using the phone pocket, chest pocket, and I'm testing out the camera pod over this month to see how I like that as well. As you'll see in a minute, love Hyperlight products. That is the bag. Super stoked to wear this in a little bit more. My clothes pod is heading to the bottom of my pack first. Wow, this feels like a lot, especially for, well, we're doing 5 days, but we're gonna be in Iceland for 7. So let's see, you've got body wipes, rain pants, Under Armour, neck gaiter. Love this buff. I think this is like the best travel accessory I've ever got. It's gonna be the summer sun while we're there in July. I've got a sleep pair of socks, beanie to go with my quilt. This is actually my extra water container for our last day when we don't have any access to water. I've got one towel we're sharing. Two pairs of super thick smart wool socks. These are the Mountaineer and hiking socks. I switched over from a different brand, but I've been really liking these. I wore these to the volcano in Iceland back in May. Extra pair of boxers besides the one I'm wearing, and my knee strap for knee issues. So other than my pants and my shirt I'm wearing on the plane and to the trek during the day, so not in my pack, this is basically sleepwear, rainwear, and a couple extras to stay semi-clean. This pillow weighs 1/4 pound. I almost didn't bring it. It's the Trekology Aloof Pillow Deluxe. A gift from my dad, of course, but the comfort, being able to shove clothes in underneath, I really like, and body wipes for the evening. So that's the clothing pod. I think that's it for clothes. Pack this up and not see it again till we are there. These socks are huge, but I really think clean socks are important, and it's possible we could be getting wet, and I do not want to run out of dry socks. Yeah, that's tough. What I'm wearing on me on the plane and while hiking, a new pair of hiking pants I got earlier this year. I'm trying out. I wore those to Iceland and a couple local hikes. I've been loving these cool pants. Got REI base layer, a Unbound Merino long sleeve tee, underwear, my signature Columbia hat that's actually pretty warm inside. It's got the Omni Tech inside, and a really lightweight arcade belt. So that's what I'll be wearing on the trail, not including that in my base weight. Patagonia work branded puff. Love this thing. In the fall, winter, spring, I'm usually caught wearing this every single day for like 150 days straight. So cannot leave this at home. Sleep system. I am using the Thermarest Neo Air. This is a little bit warmer than the Ultralight, and it could get cold there if there's a snowstorm or something crazy. You can never know with Iceland, so I want to make sure I'm extra warm, but I usually take the Ultralight. Quilt straps to avoid drafts. This is a quilt I'm borrowing from my dad, as mine is not quite warm enough. It's a Hammock Gear Burrow. It's rated down to 10 degrees, and that's probably the comfort, so I've got a little bit more than that to work with. I really like that he got the tie foot pouch, very excited for that, and the partial zip at the bottom. But I tried this out in low 40s. It got to about 42, 43 degrees out in the high Uintas this last weekend, and I was actually very warm. I was hot until like 11 or 12. So, and that was wearing no warm layers underneath. So, very excited to try this out with the Neo Air on the trail. I think this is just barely over 2 pounds. It is so light. I'll pack this up really quick. Much heavier than others, but I love having the bigger screen of the iPhone 12 Pro Max when traveling, because I use this for our maps, for shows on the plane, listening, caching, everything. So it's 512. Again, quite a bit heavier, but it's what I have, so it's what I'm using. Check out this tent. This is from Tarp Tent. It is the Rainbow Lee. It's a 2-person, and the best feature of this tent is it is a double wide, so both Kim and I can use the Thermarest Neo Air and fit width-wise. I'm thinking of replacing the duplex with this, because the duplex just isn't quite wide enough. It's awesome. The duplex, it's probably smaller packed down. But we did a night in this, also borrowing this from my dad. He's basically got an REI in his basement. And very, very light, Dyneema, pretty strong. Does have a couple poles, unlike the duplex, but these have worked out great. I've unpacked it out of the bag so I can fit this sideways in my backpack. And these are gonna get checked on the way to Iceland, stakes and poles, to avoid any issues. So that's a tent system. I'm cheap and love just, that's not true, I'm not cheap. I like wrapping these in a bag because I can throw them away and you can get dirty and just toss it, and then I'm reusing the bag. But I've loved these Bedrock Adventure sandals. They're a little bit heavier than they could be. I believe they weigh about half a pound. And, but you know what? They stay really tight on my feet, and I love having control when I have sandals on instead of feeling like I have flip-flops. So these are for the mandatory river crossings, where they can be up to your knee or higher depending on certain days, and we gotta play that safe. Outerwear, we already looked at the rain pants, which are being stored in my clothing bag, and I'll probably have in an outer pocket while hiking. This guy is not light. I do have the lighter LT, I believe, but it doesn't have the storm hood. This has a little bit better and bigger pockets that I enjoy, the Velcro wrists. And this is the Arc'teryx Beta SV. I took this to Iceland during my volcano visit. It really helped in the extreme winds, but when you can have rainstorms, snowstorms, 30-mile-an-hour winds at any given time, at any point in Iceland, this is what I'm gonna bring. So this will be stuffed in the outside of my bag. Power. So the PowerPort Solo, this is the larger of the two, the Anchor cells. There's no power for at least 5 days, maybe 5.5. I want to be able to power this guy, the camera, our phones for GPS, the inReach for emergencies, and you know, this does weigh something more. We've thought about not bringing it, but at this point I want to make sure I can take pictures every day throughout the trip, even the last day. I think this is going to be worth it. We will find out. We've only done some testing and I haven't actually used this on a trip yet. Kim has the 10K Anchor Slim and the 20K that we're bringing, and she has those packed in her bag. Holy smokes. This is the Hyperlight Mountain Gear large cube for 2400 and 3400 cubic inch bags. It's massive. I packed my food once, went over it again, packed it twice, it was 7 pounds. Packed it the third time for about 5.5 days, and I believe I got it to 5.5 pounds. This has our mountain house meals for each evening, snacks for the day we arrive, and my meals for each other day. I feel okay using the Ziplocs because we usually contain our trash in those or keep other things clean in our bag, or we use those as much as possible and even bring them home if we can. Kim had a good idea of dividing up the food per day so that we can, maintain our daily food in there. So I've got everything planned out, as well as our daily dinners. We only packed 4 Mountain House, and I'm just remembering, that's why this is good to go through this. We were going to eat at one of the huts, and then we read that it's $40 for chili soup. I think we'll be bringing a 5th one of these. Tiny little titanium spoon. I have to have a long one of these for when we're eating the Mountain House bags. Kim and I just share this since the bag's usually hot. We're passing it back and forth anyways. This guy keeps it clean between meals, and I usually wash this when we get back so it doesn't attract bears or hold any food or grime on it. This could be my favorite part. Let's get everything in here. Oh wow, I should weigh all the camera gear. Here's the camera setup as well as the Sony Alpha 1 that's filming right now on the FE 24-70 2.8 GM. We're also bringing the 12-24 2.8 GM. Whew, love this guy, just look at that. Kim will be carrying this on the side so we have easy access to it. And I'm testing out the Hyperlight Mountain Gear camera pod. So far, really loving having protection on my camera instead of using just the Peak Design camera clip on my shoulder strap. It is, one more step to get it out, to unzip and rezip, but again, it has minimal protection from bumps and scratches. Can attach in different areas and is going to be pretty water resistant, at least in the rain. Ibuprofen for knees, camera cloth, disposable masks. Pack those into my waist pack. These are one huge reason I upgraded from the 12-24 f4 to the 2.8, and that is for the rear filters. Got a few different ND filters in here, plus a night sky city filter. Really excited to be carrying this around and not a huge, massive 150 millimeter filter set. I'm not bringing the larger tripod on this trip because of weight. I instead built a different system. This, we'll see how this works. It'll be interesting to try this out. It will be the first time. But once the tripod is fully extended, I can attach this to my backpack on the ground. Use the tent taut knot to tauten it, and the weight of my bag will be staying on the ground but pull down on the tripod and keep it steady. Got this top head set up on top of the TVC 14 from Really Right Stuff. The Really Right Stuff BP 18 ball head, super small but really sturdy. And then a third party, Sunwave Photo pan head. Shutter Muse recommended this type of setup, and I want to be able to create some huge, massive, high-resolution panos there. I'm not going to bring a nodal slide to avoid the weight. I think I'll be far enough away that won't be a problem. Electronics bag here. Greatly disputed weight items in here. I know a lot of people would not bring, but I gotta get those drone shots when we're in Iceland. Mavic Air 2S controller. I originally downgraded from the Mavic Pro to the Mavic Mini so I could USB charge. But when going to the volcano in May, I also really wanted to have the best quality possible. And the Air 2S had just come out, so I splurged on that. You can see where it melted from the volcano on the LED, ground sensors, the arms, so it's already taken a beating. Because we can't charge on the trail, I am bringing 3 whole drone batteries and then a charging system for when we get back to the hotel and before we get to the volcano. This thing's pretty light, hoping to use the last 5–10% of these batteries to charge phones if we need it. Couple of miscellaneous camera things. Gotta have this when windy in Iceland. Only 2 extra props for the drone, and I combined the different filter sets and from 2 different kits. So I've got the 8, 32, 128, and 512, depending on what the weather's like and the light. I think that's it for camera and electronics. I don't consider these luxury items. These are must-have for me to enjoy the trip. This is my luxury item, my Apple AirPods Max. I'm hoping to leave these with our taxi driver who's picking us up from the airport and picking us up later, so I don't have to hike with them. Really hope that works out, but I can't go on the plane without something really nice to listen to. I think that's the camera gear. Oh, that works better. This just became the drone bag. I don't think Matador makes this lens cover anymore. It doesn't have a ton of protection, but it does make me feel better with something as fragile as the drone, with the lens, the camera, the props. Gives it a little extra padding as I shove it into some of these other areas. In the new Think Tank Secure Pixel Pocket Rocket, say that 5 times, got a bunch of collection of cards. Couldn't afford or didn't want to spend as much on the CF Express A right now, so we've got an extra tough card and a few extra trash old V30s just to, you know, back up in case we shoot a ton of extra photos, and a couple small ones for drone backups. Just saved a couple grams ditching this guy. All right, we're filling up the table here. Passport, wallet, minimal COVID vaccination card, bringing 1 smart water bottle for the outside of my bag, and last but certainly not least, my REI carbon flash sticks. I did have a previous pair of sticks, and then when I was flying to Spain and needed to have a more portable pair, I got these instead of the ones, I think they're from Cascade, which are really great, but I've liked these just fine. They're static size, but I just tested out what size I was using the most and got these. They're just a hair short when going downhill, but perfect for flat and uphill. With my knees, I can't go without these. I think that's about it. I can probably pack it up. I'm super excited for this trail. It's our first through hike, our longest probably hike other than in Peru, but we were supported and we carried our gear. We're gonna be carrying everything on our back, so I'm pretty pumped about that. Here's the final weight as this came in at just below 40 pounds, even with water. Really excited about that. But if you saw something I could do better, maybe switch out for something lighter, let me know in the comments below. I'm always looking to improve and carry a lighter bag. I know the camera gear at probably 8 or 9 pounds for the whole kit with the drone is absurd for a lot of people, but that's what makes the trail enjoyable to me. So thanks for watching, and check out this other video about the actual Laugavegur trail on our hike.